Vijendra Prasad Yadav, there are Yadav leaders within the JDU who've been with Nitish for a while. Now, how comfortable will all of them be in the new arrangement eventually is, you'll have to wait and see. I think Nitish Kumar is going to find himself increasingly isolated within Bihar politics. The BJP is waiting to swoop and simply over the years take over the Janata Dal United base.
Vijendra Yadav is a 77-year-old leader. He comes from Bihar, Supol, has been energy minister in the past. He became minister for the first time way back in 1990. He joined politics in 1967 and became MLA for the first time in 1990 as well. So he really has been around for a very long time in Bihar politics. Vijendra Prasad Yadav, one of the Yadav leaders of the Janata Dal United. Because the BJP's hope is, with the likes of Mohan Yadav being made chief minister in Madhya Pradesh, that they can wean some of the Yadav voters away from the RJD in the assembly elections and, more importantly, in the Lok Sabha elections.
You see, I think the BJP has over time in Bihar steadily tried to widen its base among backward castes. They were seen as an upper caste dominated party for the longest time, but in the last 5 to 7 years, I think they've done the kind of social engineering not as successfully as they would in UP. It's interesting, like a Nityanand Rai, who was seen, as the strongest Yadav face, has not been sent back to Bihar. They've kept him here at the center. Many see him as the future possible leader of the BJP there. But the BJP has not been able to find a charismatic Yadav leader to take on a Lalu or indeed a Tejasvi on the one side, nor have they been able to truly find that kind of EBC leader who will be able to attract a wider following. That's why, the dependence on Nitish Kumar is in a sense also reveals the limitations of the BJP and also of the RJD. The RJD also in a way, because of its Muslim Yadav vote base, is not been able to expand into EBCs.
And the fact that caste matters more than religion.
Oh, absolutely.
That it's one of the states where, unlike some of the other states where the BJP has been able to mobilize people on the basis of their religious identity, in Bihar it always comes. Caste is important everywhere, make no mistake about that. But caste somehow supersedes all other factors, including religion. In Bihar, at least that's what's happened in the past assembly elections to the BJP's discomfort, because that's their one Brahmastra which hasn't clicked so far. They thought it would in 2015 and it didn't.
That's why Bihar, I think, has been, if you look at the Hindi heartland, there's no other state. I'm happy to be corrected, but I don't think there's any other Hindi heartland state which hasn't had a BJP chief minister. And that's significant. I think because Narendra Modi is hugely popular in Bihar. I think the BJP is relying on the Modi factor, but recognizes that the Modi factor will deliver them Lok Sabha. Vidhan Sabha, they may well have a very different strategy. So Nitish Kumar is being used at the moment to shore up that Modi factor even further. Look, the BJP, I still think, would have got the single largest chunk of seats in Bihar. By getting Nitish though on their side, they are hoping to ensure they are as close to 39 out of 40 last time.
They don't want to take any risk.
They don't want to take any risk. I think this is about ensuring that those 4 states that I spoke about, where there could be double-digit losses, let's minimize those losses.
The minister on your screen is Dr. Prem Kumar, comes from the Gaya town. He's been 8 times MLA, came into politics in 1990, has been Minister for Agriculture, Animal, Fisheries, Water Resources. So Dr. Prem Kumar, 68-year-old, has been leader of the opposition in the Bihar Legislative Assembly. You can see he's wearing his saffron with pride. He has the BJP scarf around him. He's been winning every election since 1990 from the Gaya town. In the past, he's been Minister for Public Health Engineering, Department of Road Constructions, Department of Urban Development. So they've got an urban balance, they've got a rural balance as well. I just saw some working sheets of one of the top BJP leaders, Rajdeep, when they were doing the Madhya Pradesh calculus. It's interesting how even in the first set of ministers who are being sworn in, they try and ensure that there is as vast representation as possible, because they're very conscious of social representation. It's not as if, okay, let's do what we need to in terms of getting the best people up right now and then we'll deal with the rest in the cabinet expansion. They're very conscious of every appointment.
Also about effecting changes. It's not as if I keep the same group in each election. You keep changing ministers, give a sense that new faces will be given a chance. You see, political parties, once they have their same lot of ministers, you'll see this with the JDU. The same ministers repeat in every Nitish cabinet, not with the BJP. We've seen it in Gujarat, for example, when Bhupendra Patel was sworn in as chief minister, the entire cabinet was removed, new faces come in. So I think the BJP is very conscious of bringing in new faces, new figures to give a sense of energy and a belief among the cadre that opportunities can be available to all. I still maintain that Bihar is the one state where they haven't got their caste arithmetic right because they haven't
now
been
they do. With Nitish on board, they do. In fact, now they have more than they need. With Paswan, Kushwaha, Jitendra Maji.
But
they're not fighting on
the
their own.
BJP eventually would like to do in Bihar what they did in UP.
Of course.
Become a party of 45%, 48%, build your base at the expense of other parties. They've not been able to do that in Bihar. In Bihar, they've been dependent on Nitish Kumar. They want to end their dependence. That's why I believe this could be the last time they will do this. 2024 objective, 2025 very different election in Bihar, Rahul. Fascinating in my view because it could end the duopoly of the Yadavs and Nitish Kumar.
This is Shravan Kumar from the Janata Dal United, comes from Nitish Kumar's home district of Nalanda. Has been a 7-time MLA, has been Minister for Rural Development in the government of Bihar, was serving as the chief whip of the Janata Dal United, was also in charge of Nitish's affairs in Jharkhand. He is the one who had last year said that Nitish would make the ideal choice of prime ministerial candidate for the India alliance. Now, some of those old comments, Raj, you can always be embarrassing. You can pull them out of the archives and say, sir, aap to Nitish ko India ka PM bana rahe the.
Look, it's true though on all sides. Look at the comment that Lalu used to make about Nitish and vice versa. Yet they've been in alliance twice in the last 8 years. So I think in Bihar, what you say in the past doesn't matter. What only matters is what's happening in the present. Because otherwise they would all be exposed for what they've become in Bihar, which is, the politics of immorality. Let's be honest, let's not call these master strokes. These are power politics based on fundamental immoralities because that's the way politics has become in a state like Bihar, to some extent even in Maharashtra. But I think Bihar takes the cake in its ability to have people do these high jumps without their political career being affected in any substantial manner.
I thought you'd say Bihar takes the tekwa, but it does. Because the kind of flip-flops that we've seen in Bihar, and remember, this is a state where any reporter will tell you the level of political understanding of the average citizen is higher than it is anywhere else. Far higher than Delhi, far higher than Maharashtra. Not to say that people don't understand politics elsewhere, but they could well be pundits on a television show and give both Rajdeep and me a run for our money when it comes to understanding of the very nuances of Indian politics.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes Bihar so fascinating and depressing at the same time. It's the one state where politics is an industry where everyone has a political opinion. But I think it's also the state which has not been able to nurture a kind of politics which is wholesome, which will take the state to the next level, which we are seeing in Uttar Pradesh.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where Nitish ran out of steam. After his good start in 2005 for the first few years, Yogi Adityanath is going from strength to strength in Uttar Pradesh, reviving the state, improving law and order, bringing in industrial corridors. Still a work in progress and a lot needs to be done. But he is marching with a lot of energy in the right direction from the perspective of development of the state. Nitish somehow, just before the 2014 elections, just seemed to run out of steam, energy and ideas.
You see, I think, as I said, Rahul, but the turning point interestingly came from outside. In 2013, when Mr. Modi becomes the Prime Minister choice, Nitish had a huge problem with Mr. Modi. When Mr. Modi was Gujarat Chief Minister, you will recall they had a couple of face-offs with each other. So when Mr. Modi is made the Prime Minister candidate, what does Nitish do? He decides to leave the NDA. And I think his decision at that moment to quit from the NDA and believe that he could be a potential national rival almost to Narendra Modi didn't work out. And when that didn't work out, he was on a slippery slope, and that slope continues till this day. The last 10 years for Nitish Kumar have been years where he has simply become a political survivor, unlike the first